Hello and welcome to a brand new edition of Sports Night.
With Turkey Day fast approaching, it's our last one for a few weeks, so without further ado, let's get started.
Country team hit the course hunting for a national title. Could they reach their goal?
The men's basketball team opened its regular season. We have all the highlights.
And a champion wrestler joins me in studio. This is Sports Night.
There's a lot for us to talk about tonight, beginning with the beginning of the basketball and wrestling season.
But we'll start on the cross-country course where the women's team was racing for a national championship in Terre Haute, Indiana. The team was ranked 8th in the nation heading into the race, and if you believe the so-called experts, they had no chance for a podium finish. But as you'll find out, that's why they run the races. As the race progressed, it became obvious that the Knights would outperform their 8th place ranking and even their 6th place finish from last year. The question became, by how much could they improve? The answer would come in less than 25 minutes when the dust had settled. The Knights were in 2nd place behind only Johns Hopkins University. Alana Adnabnet led the team with her 7th place finish, 3 spots improved from her place last year, and we'll have much more on Adnabnet's performance later.
Adnabnet wasn't the only strong performer. Joining her in the ranks of the All-Americans was junior Sammy Brewitt, who finished 14th. Her performance was good enough to put her in 4th on the Wartburg's all-time list. Hattie Vaughter also placed in the top 50, squeezing in as the 49th runner across the finish line. Overall, the Knights scored 221 points behind Johns Hopkins in their 158 points. Senior Kristen Youngberg will be the only runner who raced at Nationals who will be missing next year. Alana Adnabnet led the cross-country team once again at the national meet. In just 1.5 years of running at Wartburg, Adnabnet already has more success than most runners do in their entire careers. SportsKnight's Nathan Ford has more.
She may be just a sophomore, but Alana Adnabnet has already won 2 national championships in track and earned All-American honors twice in cross-country.
Last track season, best example, here she is, first national meet in track and field, indoors, and I'm looking at the starting line, and Laura Sigmund's a great competitor, and here's a senior, and Laura looks like she's scared to death. Gee, maybe she's going to pass out, and there's Alana. She's just standing at the starting line. Okay, where do we go? Shoot the gun. I'm ready to go.
When going in, I was like, oh yeah, I want to be an All-American, but being a national champion was nothing that I really thought about.
Adnabnet had Division I offers, but says she felt Division III Wartburg was the best fit.
It sounds cliche, but it was like the people. I just remember coming here and everyone on the team just seemed so personable and truly invested in each other, and I thought that was a fantastic quality.
So I think the character of the program, the family atmosphere, I just think she's a wonderful person, and she and I connected really well, and I just think this became the place that fit her the best.
The sky is seemingly the limit for Adnabnet in her final 2.5 years as a Knight.
Yeah, I think when you've got a good front runner who loves to do that, there's a level of calm. It's kind of like the quarterback. You got a quarterback that steps behind. You got that point guard that gets out there, and they're under control, and they show it, and they're a competitor, and they're not flaky, and they're not nervous. You got that person there on your team that's the leader, that knows how to compete at that level. It really raises the level of everybody else.
Just continuing, improving. Getting faster each year, hopefully bringing my teammates with me and getting some more Wartburg All-Americans.
Reporting for Sports Night, I'm Nathan Ford.
Wow, Justin, 2nd in the nation. You think I could ever be that good at something?
No. But don't worry about that, Kyle. At least we still have plenty more Sports Night to come, including highlights from the Buzz Levick tournament this weekend.
That doesn't help. The basketball team kicked off their 2012-13 regular season Friday night in the Buzz Levick tournament against the Storm of Crown College. Let's see what happened. It would be Crown who got off to a hot start in the beginning when they steal the inbounds pass and get an easy layup, and they're up 6 right off the bat. Junior Eddie Deemer does a good job to get past Crown's 7-1 center for the nice score to bring the Knights within 7. But Crown would keep expanding the lead thanks to this Kevin Love-esque outlet pass to Roland Zwarek for the 1 and layup. That extends the lead to 12. Wartburg fought back, though, as junior Tanner Kramer puts in a 3 to get the deficit to just 8 points. Then freshman Alec Boyd makes a jumper to bring the Knights within 3. With just 3 minutes left in the half, there's that jumper, nothing but net. Crown's D1 transfer Anthony DiLoretto took over the game in the first half with 17 points, culminating with this 3-pointer right there. That's a big guy shooting threes. And in spite of his performance, Wartburg went to halftime only down 8. The Orange and Black came roaring back after the half with this nice up and under move from Deemer to bring the Knights within 4. Crown responded with an 8-0 run, capped off by this tray from Taylor Jones, and that gets the lead back to double digits. Wartburg gave one final push at the end with this shot by Drew Crawford from behind the arc. They're down just 5, but Crown would bounce back again. They controlled the game until the end, and the Knights dropped their opener 74-65.
We just turned the ball over way too many times. We got away from the fundamentals, from the things we preach on a daily basis.
That loss sent the Knights to the consolation game, but luckily for them, they would play the very next day.
They played for the very next day against Rockford College. Now let's see what's happened in that game. It was day 2 of the Bozelevich tournament. The Knights got it going early and often when senior Drew Crawford, who hits a 3. Then a couple of possessions later, he makes another one. Crawford made 4 3-pointers on the night and scored 19 points. The Regents answered back with a 3 from Grant Olson. But the Knights were just too big inside as Eddie Deemer gets up and throws down a jam. He led all scorers with 20. The Knights led a half 33-16. In the second half, the Knights worked well as a team. Thomas Perkins, moving without the ball, gets the basket and the foul and makes the and 1. And on the defensive side, Eddie Deemer gets a huge block. Then the Knights caught fire, starting with number 12, Nate Tribal, who drains a 3. The Knights were getting points from a lot of guys. Next one is number 1, Tanner Kramer, who makes a 3. Drew Crawford gets the bucket and the foul right here. Trevor Dismore gets the rebound and takes the ball coast to coast, and the Knights were up big. The Knights were clicking up on all cylinders as they shot above 50% for field goals and 3-point percentage. They kept making threes, this one from Alec Boyd, and they ran away with this one. The final score was 84-50. That one moves the Knights back to 500 for the young season. Eddie Deemer led the team with 20 points and 7 rebounds, and Drew Crawford chipped in a career-high 19 points. Horse is a game that is normally reserved for blacktops and backyards, but for this week's They Can We segment, I challenge the men's basketball player to a match of this schoolyard game.
I'm Justin Zacconi, and this is senior guard Brian Fenor from the men's basketball team. And for this week's They Can We segment, I'm going to play horse against this guy. Hopefully I won't lose too bad. I haven't touched a basketball in months, so.
Everybody get up, it's time to slam now. We got the real jam going down. Welcome to the Space Jam.
First shot,
Here's your chance, do your dance at the Space Jam. All right.
H for Brandon.
After he got H, I thought my luck would carry me a little farther, but he caught fire, and there was nothing I could do.
H for me. Jeez.
Great. There was a point when I was down HO that Brandon tried an over-the-basket shot. I didn't think that he could make it, but based on how the game was going, I should have known better.
Oh, God. Oh, that was great. This is awful.
I barely missed the attempt, and after that, I knew it was pretty much over.
Backward. Terrible. Oh, man. I haven't seen anybody make a rain this bad since last time Pac-Man John was in the club. Good Lord. That was a 30-footer.
After B made his E shot from the top of the arc, I promptly missed mine. But Brandon gave me another shot, you know? And unfortunately, I bricked that one as well. In retrospect, I probably deserved to get beat that bad after trash-talking him beforehand. But one thing's for sure, I'll take that H he got to my grave.
Thank you so much, Brandon, for playing horse with me.
No problem, man, no problem.
And reporting for SportsKnight, I'm Justin Zacconi.
All right, Justin, any comments on that incredible performance on the court?
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Of course you don't. But up next on SK, I'll sit down with the defending national champion on the wrestling mat. Stay tuned. Welcome back to Sports Night. Joining me in the locker room tonight is a guy who's really good at what he does. In fact, he's the defending national champion at 165 pounds. Landon Williams, thanks for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Now, my first question is, defending national championship, only a junior, is anything less than a national title a disappointment?
Yeah, in a way it is. Like, obviously the goal is to win another national title, but like the coaches tell me, like, you're not defending anything. This is a new year, and you're trying to just win another national title.
Now, you and Cody Silvestri, another junior in the same boat, winning the national title as sophomores, you've got a chance to do something that only Byron Tate has done for Wartburg, win 3 consecutive national titles. Is that a little far to look forward in the future? Has that ever crossed your mind?
It's in my mind, but like I just got to focus at 1 year at a time, and if I just keep wrestling like I can, then it'll happen.
Now, moving on to more of a team aspect, still a lot of guys back, and obviously a very good team from year to year. Anybody that's going to surprise us that you see in practice that most people don't?
We have some good freshmen pushing us in the room. I'm looking for Cole Walter to definitely get on the medal stand this year.
We've heard a lot about Jim Miller, this being his last season. He's retiring. And obviously, it's a big thing for the program. What's it like day to day just being with him as a head coach?
It's nice. Like, he motivates us. He knows how to motivate people. Like, he gets us to work as hard as we can, and like, it's just nice to have him around.
Any funny stories you can tell about Miller that maybe some guys will miss?
Just the way he talks to us, and like how he can just get us to like laugh and stuff. He's good.
All right, and you've had a bit of a rivalry developing with Co. I know you had a couple intense matches with one of their guys last year. He was a senior and graduated. Mm-hmm. Co, also a program that's really stepped up lately and is getting ranked highly. Is there a bit of a rivalry with Co? Is that one of the teams you pay attention to?
I mean, there's sort of a rivalry, yeah. It's always a fun meet to go to because they're always trying their gun to beat us. But we take it as just another team, and we just work hard. The environment's really good there too also.
What's it like to be part of such a huge conference winning streak that the program has going on?
It's good to be part of the legacy. Like, I like to keep it going. I just work hard to keep it going.
All right, any guys on your team, with so many talented wrestlers on the same team, is there ever competition? I know you're different weight classes and you don't technically wrestle each other all the time, but is there competition to see maybe I can beat my guy by more than he beats his guy?
Yeah, we kind of have a little competition. Like, me and Kenny Anderson kind of had a little like competition this weekend to see who got the OW, a wrestler, and he ended up getting it, but it just takes a little edge off and it's fun.
Is there a certain prize you can get, or maybe you don't want to talk about that?
No, it's not a prize. It's like you usually get like a trophy or something for like the OW from the tournament.
All right, Wartburg Wrestling going for a three-peat in terms of the team title. What's that like, just to be such a part of such huge success all the time?
Yeah, the goal is obviously to three-peat, but I'm just looking at it as going to win another national title. If we work hard like we have, the three-peat will come and it'll be nice.
And Miller retiring, Coach Eric Keller stepping up into a bigger role this year, and more so on down the line. He'll take over sole head coaching duties. He seems to be ready for the job. What do you see out of Keller in terms of developing as a head coach?
He's definitely ready. Like, he's already like there in the room just as much. Like, he's already like taking over and leading us. Like, I think he has been like the last couple years, and it's pretty nice to know that he's going to be there to take Miller's place. Also,
a couple recent Wartburg grads who wrestled, who have kind of moved on to the coaching role, and John Helgerson and Carrington Banks, both there. Is that kind of nice to have some guys who you know have been around who are also coaching you, who are really just recently graduated?
Yeah, I like having like Carrington in the room because he can really push me, and he's young, and you can like talk to him about stuff, and he understands because he was just there just a couple years ago, and he was just going through what we had to go through.
Any coaching aspirations for yourself?
Yeah, I definitely, after college, I'm looking to coach.
All right. Thanks a lot for joining us, Landon, and sadly, that's all the time we have. As I just said, we'll be right back in just a couple of minutes with a look into what the women's basketball season might hold. Don't go anywhere.
The women's basketball team tipped off their season at the Monmouth Tournament Saturday and nearly pulled off a shocking upset. The Knights trailed 8th-ranked Wisconsin Whitewater 36-22 at halftime, but battled back to take a 52-51 lead after Abby Weideman's old-fashioned three-point play with 3 minutes left. The Warhawks ended on a 13-4 run, though, to hand the Knights their first loss of the season. The Knights bounced back Sunday with an impressive defensive performance against Iowa Wesleyan. Wartburg held the Tigers to 28.2% shooting from the field, and Abby Weideman had a career-high 22 points in the Knights' first win of the season. The Knights' home opener is this Saturday against Wisconsin Platteville at 2 p.m. Tune in to KWAR to hear all the action. With the women's basketball team season now underway, we thought it would be appropriate to take a look at the season to come. My co-host Kyle Pomolia gives you a preview of what to expect from Coach Bob Ansberry's crew.
But you need to play individually to your strengths, or what happens is it forces other people's to play away from their strengths.
With more than 15 wins in each of the past 3 seasons, Bob Amsberry has led the women's basketball team to an era of great success. But even Amsberry would be one of the first to admit there's a big piece missing. They've never reached the NCAA tournament.
It's always a goal, and each year it's a new challenge. You have no nights off. You've got to perform consistently throughout a season, and we've been right there.
Amsberry's team's improved rapidly after he took over in 2006, but they seem to have hit a plateau. So what can they do to take that next step?
We got to defend every night, and we got to play together on offense. And we learned a lot about our team this past weekend, about what it's going to take to compete.
I think it's just going to be a mindset. I think we need to have confidence that we can do it. I know we have the skill set, and all our players can step up and do it. We just have to go in thinking losing is not an option.
The road for the Knights this year is incredibly difficult. They opened the season with a loss to 8th-ranked Wisconsin Whitewater and could play 9 teams that reached the NCAA tournament last year, including defending national champion Illinois Wesleyan.
I believe that you got to play the best to be the best. Today, this year's schedule was intentional. We know that we have to compete every night in the Iowa Conference, so to prepare for that, we felt like we needed to play the best teams in the country. And
to increase the difficulty level, the Knights return only one starter from last year's team that went 18-9, point guard Abby Weideman.
She never really lets anything affect her negatively, which makes her a really, really good player.
It's definitely a change, but at the end of the season, at the beginning of the season, I came in wanting this role, and I know I have the experience.
Weideman will lead an inexperienced team against a historically tough schedule, but if Amsberry has his way, he'll be coaching well into March. Reporting for SportsKnight, I'm Kyle Pomolia.
The women's basketball team's next game will be this Saturday against the University of Wisconsin Platteville. That game will be in Buzz Levick Arena. Still to come on SportsKnight, one of Wartburg's defending national champion teams was in action last weekend. Find out how they fared.
The number 1 ranked Wartburg wrestling team opened their home campaign with a duel against Waldorf on Thursday. Let's see if they could continue their dominance.
Hi, I'm Ryan Jorgensen.
Gilberto Camacho would go on to set the tone as soon as we can get the video here. Some technical difficulties. We'll see if we can get it. Gilberto Camacho dominated his opening match. He would go on to win a major decision of 8-0 over Bo Bettinson of Waldorf. Camacho is ranked 3rd in the nation, another Wartburg wrestler who will definitely be contending for a national championship as the season progresses. Freshman Landon Shea also won by a fall in just 1 minute and 36 seconds in the 141-pound category. He improves the Knights' lead to 14-0 right at the start of the meet. The Knights continue their dominance throughout the duel. They only dropped one match all night long, and they prove they are the #1 team in the country. Ryan Fank would close things out with a 12-2 victory over Angel Gomez in the heavyweight category, and the Knights win their first home duel 41-3. Kenny Anderson, Brandon Welter, Brett Yankovic, Jace Shassow, Gerard Roman, and Landon Williams, who we just saw, also won matches for the Knights.
Most of the wrestlers competed in the Concordia Open in Wisconsin Saturday, and 4 individuals won their respective brackets. At 133 pounds, Kenny Anderson won for the Knights, while Brandon Welter won the championship at 149 pounds. Drew Wagenhofer was the champion at 157 pounds, while Ryan Fank won the heavyweight title. The wrestlers have the week off before a double duel at Simpson on Friday, November 13th. The Knights will take on Williams along with their conference opener against the Storm.
It's now time to reveal the athlete of the week, and this week it's junior forward Eddie Deemer. Deemer played a great couple games in the Buzz Levick tip-off tournament, leading the team in points and rebounds. He was named to the all-tournament team for his efforts. Deemer and the rest of the Knights will play their next game on Saturday against McMurray College in the UW-Platteville Invitational. And that's all the time we've got for Sports Night tonight. But before we go, Justin, I just wanted to make a quick comment to you. You're a St. Louis Rams fan. You let the New York Jets take one off you. How does that feel?
Oh, it feels really terrible. We got beat in our own building. The Jets receivers getting behind. Jets receivers getting behind cornerbacks that I haven't even heard of these receivers, and it's just really ridiculous.
And you let Mark Sanchez, of all people, carve you up.
I know, it doesn't do really well for my self-confidence, and I was really disappointed after that one.
Yeah, that's too bad. And Sanchez, you think he's going to stay the starting quarterback there, or is it Tebow time eventually?
I hope it's Tebow time. That'll be a lot more fun for everybody else.
For the sake of comedy, hopefully it's Tebow time later on. But thanks a lot for joining us on Sports Night. We've got a week off for Thanksgiving, and then we'll be right back here with one more show before the new year. Thanks for tuning in.